Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Football Stink. I hope you're all happy and healthy. Look what we've got. Johnny H. I've given Johnny access to Canva, and he's like a little kid in a candy shop. He's playing around. He's making he's doing his background things. Hope everyone is all the better for the last day of 2025. Some of you might be up in Australia right now, already into 2026. What's it like? What's it like in 2026, guys? I hope it's better than 2025. I'll see you next year. Please do smash the like button, guys. We've got some interesting takes. We've got the games last night to review. We've got the unbelievable transfer news, views, and clues to get through as well. Really interesting stuff. So please smash the like button on the channel as you always do. We love you for it. Thank you very much. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Notification button should be squeezed, as you know by now, and comments should be dropped. We are available on all of your podcasting platforms, whichever one your favorite is. Then check us out, find Football Inc., and give us a liking, a follow, and a rating, or search in the description below. We are also sponsored today by OK Jersey, the wonderful people at OK Jersey. So if you're looking for any of your footballing clubber, old or new, any of your sporting athleisure wear for your New Year's resolutions, then you get the best prices in town, the best quality, and of course, you also get an extra 8% off at checkout if you use code FINC, F-I-N-C. Big up to them for the sponsor. Big up to all of you for joining us. Let's get into the show. But before we do that, Johnny, my man, my partner in crime, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. You okay?
All good. Yeah, coming to you live from the Football Inc. Studio that's been set up at enormous costs to both Sean and myself. They've been slaving away all weekend because in just a few hours, the window opens, and I'm expecting all hell to break loose. I'm expecting 2 very quick deals to be done. But before that, guys, just want to say to everybody that has given the love and support to Sean and I over the last 6 months, we are at the embryonic stage of this channel, but we are growing. We are growing and growing very nicely, but we couldn't do it at all without your help, and we really appreciate your support, both with the super chats, the stickers, the likes, the follows, and if you're listening on audio for your follows there, we couldn't do it without you. And big up to you all, and a happy, healthy, and successful 2026 to you all, just in case we forget. But it's exciting time, Sean. Mad games last night.
Mad games, mate. Mad games. I know everyone was watching the Arsenal game. We'll talk about them as well. But Manchester United, once again, dropping the 8 ball, dropping the bollock. A big opportunity there, and they just couldn't get over the line. Wolves were well worthy of a point, in my opinion, when I saw the extended highlights just a minute ago. Bournemouth, Chelsea, absolutely frantic first half in that game. First half an hour, unbelievable game. Bournemouth are more open at the back than Ange Postecoglou used to make us at Tottenham. Yeah, you know, Iriola is he's a wild guy. He's exciting, isn't he? Exciting manager to work for.
Is his star fallen, or is it just? I mean, he's had everyone sold from beneath his feet. I mean, he did lose.
I think it's a difficult team to be able to play that way of football. You're always going to struggle a little bit because like the gap between the best and the better, or the sort of the best and the next best, really isn't that big in the Premier League. And so if you play that kind of open, frantic way, you're always going to leave yourself susceptible. But for them to have had their entire back line removed and then replaced, and let's be honest, Johnny, like we actually gave them a hell of a lot of credit in the first 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season when they were doing so well. But maybe that was like, I'm not sure not a new manager bounce, but like a new backline bounce or whatever. They managed to kind of make it work. But it's difficult for them to be able to play that sort of level of football with, you know, a squad that's always going to be in flux. A team like Bournemouth are always going to find new talents, and then they're going to leave as quickly as they get settled in. I don't think he's a bad manager at all. Has his star fallen, Johnny? I'd say people are much more noticing recently. The fall has been happening for about 2 months. Yeah. People are really starting to pay attention to it now. But look, to go to Chelsea, and get a point is a good result.
Huge. Yeah. And especially when Chelsea were desperate for the win. And But some strange decisions from Maresca. Well, we'll go through all that in a while. But listen, I still think he's a quality coach. But I think for any manager, if, for example, if we lost, for example, if we lost Mickey van der Ven, Romero, and Jed Spence, and we bought some guys that we'd never heard of to replace them, I think we'd also be as open as Bonnie Blue. So I think credit, it needs to be balanced. The credit and the sort of disrespect he's getting in equal measures now.
Well, it's not like he's not losing a lot of games, right? The last 5, he's 4 points from the last 5. This is what I say, mate. Draws destroy teams. Look, he's got the most draws in the league. Yeah, the most draws in the league. Right, a goal either way on a few of those games, and he'd have about 32 points. They're not a bad team. They're just a team that that plays a great football, but ultimately, like I say, they're a little bit too open, but they're very resilient. They come back. I watched them yesterday, they went 1-0 up, and they were playing. It's brilliant, frantic opening to the game. And then Chelsea pulled them back with a penalty. Cole Palmer puts it in, and then they go and get another one from Enzo. And you sit there and think, if you're a team that's been 1-0 up and now you're 2-1 down inside of 10 minutes with like 2 very quick goals, maybe your heads drop. But Bournemouth don't change their play whether they're 1-0 up or 2-1 down. Right. They still play the same way. Very similar to how Ange Postecoglou sort of did it, right? I think that's a little bit naive. I do think it's naive. I think it's like purist and kind of sticking to your guns. But they fought back to 2-2. Fantastic game. And like I say, mate, look at those results, right? Four draws out of the last 5. And they've slipped wildly down the pecking order. I don't think they're in anything. They're nowhere near a relegation threat.
No, nowhere near. I mean, look, you look at Forest there and their game last night. I think they had 25 or 26 shots, 6 shots on target last night. 6 shots on target. Pickford had to make. It was one-way traffic, and yet they came out without the win. In fact, they came out with a 2-0 loss.
21 shots against.
21 was it? Sorry, 21.
Still mad. Yeah, 70% possession. Unusual.
Look at their XG compared to.
Yeah. I'm sure. Wolfie was fuming. I might go back and watch the highlights of that show.
I don't believe that they're in. I don't believe they're in any trouble whatsoever. But because I think they got too much. I think they got too much talent in that squad, and we know Marinakis will go and threaten someone and bring them into the club against their will. So I think they did.
What though, mate? If West Ham were unlucky, right? West Ham drew 2-2 in the end. Another cracking game of football.
Well, Brighton had more of the play. I thought Brighton had more of the play looking at what I saw.
Yeah, but they were 2-1 up, right? West Ham.
Yeah, they were.
So. Yeah, the 61st minute equaliser. But I'm saying if West Ham managed to get that win yesterday, then they'd be 2 points off of Nottingham Forest right now.
I think Brighton were the better team last night.
Probably. Yeah,
it's so tight there. If you could, look, I've said this over and over again, and I fear of repeating myself. Consistency is sadly lacking in the Premier League this season. Apart from Aston Villa going on that crazy 11-game run, and Manchester City having their run now, there hasn't been a lot of consistency in the league. I mean, looking at the state of how Manchester United have been playing, up and down, and yet they still sit in 6th place.
Isn't that look at that? The last 5, 1 drawn, lost 1 drawn. They've got Leeds up next. I wouldn't even be surprised if Man United Leeds, what a game that will be.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lost that game. That's just like people. We were speaking like this backstage. I know you believe you have more belief in Ruben Amorim than I do, Johnny.
I'm beginning to question my own judgment. I got to be honest. I'm beginning to question my own judgment on him. To be honest, look, I know.
I don't think you have to question your own judgment. I think it's a reasonable take to have. It's just. I personally think that the guy, he doesn't strike me as a guy that invokes confidence. Like that, all those things we saw against Grimsby when he's looking at the dugout floor for 20 minutes, that was embarrassing. tactic board. I hate it when any manager pulls out a thing. Like you really need to like visualize tic-tac-toe on your little bit of plastic magnet. Like, what are we doing there? And he's bought a lot of players that, once again, mate, look absolutely terrible. Like, I'm not going to say the analogy that I said, because we'll get an analogy, but Benjamin Sesko has had a lot of chances, and he looks an absolute shadow of the former self. When he was in Germany, he was banging in goals. He was electric. He was confident, and he just doesn't. The ball falls to him in so many good positions, and he just bottles it every time. Manuel Ugarte, a player that was unbelievable a couple of years ago before he joined United.
What's happened to Cunha?
Tejas Cunha, yeah, I don't even think Mbumo looks that. He's done okay. He's been the better of the people that have settled in there. But like, everyone that goes to Manchester United, it's like a vortex of talent. It just sucks it out of them, and then they only get repaid when they leave. You know,
should we be giving though? I feel that I rate him. I think he's a really good manager. I think Rob Edwards needs to be given a little bit of credit here. He's only been in the job a very short space of time. They're in absolute freefall. He played very, very well at Liverpool last week. They've had two crazy games: Liverpool away and Man United away. And let's be honest, Liverpool struggled. You know, they won 2-1. It wasn't a whitewash that we all thought it was going to be. And now they've gone to Man United and they've got the draw. So, you know, maybe keep an eye on Rob Edwards. He knows he's going down. But I think I think we need to give him some credit for the job he's done in a short space of time, because that is a really, really, really poor Wolves squad. We keep waiting for them to suddenly do something, and it hadn't happened. But maybe now they've turned the corner. I think it's too late for them. Don't get me wrong, but I expect to see a couple of wins and a bit of progression over the next couple of months under Rob Edwards. We shall see.
Yeah. Let's talk about the game, Man United. Let's talk about the Arsenal Villa game, mate. What was your thoughts?
Honestly and truthfully, look, they were missing Konsa and Matty Cash at the back, Villa. Two of their key players in defence. But in that first half, I thought they did very well. Ollie Watkins was very disappointing in that first half. He had a couple of good chances, didn't pick his head up for a clean pass, passed the ball behind the player. Goy Carrez had one touch in the first half, and it was a header that just went past. But I thought it was very, very tight. But I was worried because Onana was limping, had gone off, and he was opening Arsenal up. He was a real threat, Onana on the counter. And when he didn't come out in the second half, I was a little bit worried because he'd been their most threatening player. But Konsa was playing. Sorry, who was I talking about? I'm trying to think who I'm talking about. It was missing yesterday. Matty Cash and another. Sorry, but I've got to be honest with you. If that was Richarlison with that elbow into Martinez, that was 100%. It was a foul. For me, Sean, that is a foul all day long. Forget if it's Barnsley, Wigan, whoever. He's gone like that. He's led in with his elbow and it's gone into Martinez and he's dropped the ball. I don't see how in a million years that is not a free kick. I just think that whilst certain clubs get battered by the PGMOL, Arsenal seem to be getting away with actual murder. There was another incident whereby Marino, right, blatant foul. He'd been fouled a couple of times where he'd got away with it. He gets the yellow card. And then after they're 1 down, they tried to break down and he's literally judo pulled him down to the ground. I mean, it was a stone cold yellow all day long. And he did nothing. That was a game changer. But saying that, Sean, nothing can excuse the Villa players for losing their... I don't know.
Similar to what happened with Tottenham, right? We lost our heads against Liverpool.
Well, we lost our heads against Arsenal as well. We lost 4.
Yeah, no, I just mean like refereeing decisions going against you, and you end up just letting you like shoot yourself in the foot, you know.
And
And
that's what
I
we
think
did.
Villa lost their heads a little bit last night to some decisions, and then ultimately just got punished. What's interesting though, mate, Eze hasn't played a minute of football for Arsenal in the last 3 games. He's been left on the bench, hasn't even come off the bench. Do you think Eze's sitting there sort of going, maybe I didn't pick the right club, or maybe I did, but maybe I'm not? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think's going through his mind right now?
Hopefully he's thinking that. I'll find out, won't I? I'll find out tonight because I'm seeing his agent, so I'll find out. But I think he made the wrong choice, but I could understand. Would you go to Arsenal or would you go to Spurs?
Like, well, yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I'm just saying though, like, you know, if he was at Tottenham, he'd be playing every minute, wouldn't he?
But hang on, for me, yeah, he's sitting there thinking, I need to get on the pitch. I need to get on the pitch. So what does it do? When he eventually gets his chance, knows he has to grab it. I'm looking at their bench last night, even with all their injuries. You got Havertz, you got Eze, you got Rice. It's mad. Honestly, the depth is just insane. The other thing that pissed me off, and I've got to tell you, it's been pissing me off now for about 18 months. I thought, hallelujah, the referee for once is going to have a word with Arteta, because literally he was on the pitch, mate. He had, at one stage, he was literally on the pitch, waving his arms around when players were running down, Villa players were running down the wing. So the referee's come over and he's gone like this, and he's gone to talk to him. Arteta's gone, he's smiling at him. He puts his hand on his arm like that. Yeah, like that. The referee turns his back. What does he do? Walks straight back out and goes exactly where he was before.
I know.
Doing exactly the same thing.
It drives me up the wall. Drives me up the fucking wall.
Mate, but why is every other manager reprimanded for being on the touchline or coming out of the technical area? Yet he seems
on them all.
I just think maybe maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I just feel that Arsenal are getting very, very, very lucky with the refereeing decisions. Yet what do? Their fans bemoan everything that goes on. They think they get hard done by, but I don't think they do. But listen, look, all said and done, it's a massive win for Arsenal, and I think it could easily be the catalyst to change the whole momentum and self-belief within the Arsenal camp, that they can go on and win it now.
They ain't winning anything, mate. We go for this conversation every year. They're always here. They're always leading at Christmas, and then they end up choking like the bottle jobs that they are, mate. They choke, you know, every single time, choking like Eminem.
But why aren't they being reprimanded? I just don't understand. Right, this diving and screaming. I mean, even when they were 2-0 up, you know, the little things, the scream for added effect. I mean, they must practice that, Sean. The scream, the rolling about, I mean, there was one moment where I think it was McGinn. I can't remember if it was McGinn. No, Buendia. Buendia goes up for a ball with Gabriel. He's like an animal, and he's gone down like a sack of potatoes, Gabriel, like he's been poleaxed by a giant. And like the referee blows. I find it really annoying. But listen, they're in pole position right now. I just thought that Villa were capable of getting a draw last night, and I'm quite disappointed in their performance. I'll be honest with you. No doubt they'll be back for the FA Cup against Spurs.
Yeah, for sure. It's a minor blip, mate. But look, maybe that just goes to prove the golfing class between the two. Like, I don't know. Look, I think Villa have got the capability, but maybe just Villa choked. Maybe Villa just choked a little bit because they were sitting there thinking this is their moment and they just didn't handle it.
Not first half.
I still think that the Manchester City will win the league. I think they've just got too much talent, and Pep Guardiola knows how to get over the line. Arteta doesn't. You know, you don't know how to get over the line until you do it. And Arteta hasn't done it yet. And in 5 years, he's had plenty of opportunities and he hasn't. So he might end up winning the Carabao Cup. Do you know what might happen? What Arsenal could really do with if they get the Carabao Cup out of the way in February, they win that one. I don't know, who have they got in the semi-final? Was it Newcastle?
Chelsea.
They got Chelsea in the semi.
Chelsea are performing like...
Yeah. So, like, if they can get the Carabao Cup, then that might be the springboard that goes on to win the league. But I don't think they'll win the Champions League, and I don't think that they'll win the league unless they get a trophy like the Carabao Cup beforehand. Because I don't think you know how to win until you know how to win. And Arteta, like I say, I don't think he's necessarily proven anything yet.
But why is it? I mean, listen, I don't want to keep going on about it, but there was at least 2 or 3 fouls by Saka that just went completely unpunished. And like the reason, guys, why I'm ranting, mate, like as a Spurs fan, right, and not just as a Spurs fan, but other games, I've seen some horrendous refereeing decisions this season. We had a situation where Romero got pushed in the back by Ekitike for the Liverpool goal. It was a clear double-handed push, okay? No VAR decision, absolutely none at all. He's gone to remonstrate as the captain and he gets booked, right? No VAR. He's asking, why is there no VAR? Why, what's going on? PGMO come out and said, oh, I'm sorry, we made a mistake. Too little afterwards. But what do they want to do? They want to add further insult to injury by giving him an extended ban because he didn't go down the touchline. He wouldn't have been sent off at all had he not been for the first one. But I've seen so many of these inconsistencies, both in the VAR and in refereeing standards this season. And it's not just Spurs games. I've seen it in countless games now. And, one of the reasons why we brought in VAR and all of these things was because there used to be an assumption, Sean, when I was watching football when I was younger, that the big clubs always got the decisions over the little clubs because of their influence, the Alex Fergusons and all this. But the VAR and all the rest of it and these new rules would be the leveler in it all. But I don't believe nothing. I don't believe anything's changed. I believe that there is still a them and an us.
There's still massive inconsistencies for sure, 100%. Yeah, and I don't like it. I'd rather get rid of VAR for everything apart from the goal line technology and automated offsides. That's fine. Anything regarding if the referee makes a decision on the pitch that he's seen, then that should be enough. If he hasn't seen something, if something's happened off behind his back where someone's like elbowed or whatever, maybe then it can come in. But if the referee has made a decision regarding a challenge on the pitch, then all you're doing is removing his subjectivity and handing it over to the subjectivity of other people. I think it's bollocks. I think it's absolute bullshit. And there's just as much, and like I hate it. But let's
Just a quickie before we do the super chat. So I was just going to say, Anthony's saying, Johnny, didn't you tell Arsenal fans to not complain about refs? Just get on with it, and the game shouldn't you be doing something the same, right? Well, what I would say is minor trivial incidents is what I'm talking about. But when they're absolutely plain to obvious to even someone who doesn't watch a lot of football, that an incident, like we all know Mourinho should have been sent off straight after halftime, right? It was a blatant, double-handed yank down, pulled the guy back and threw him on the ground, right? Nothing happened. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
That was because it was a yellow card offence and the referee didn't see it, right?
Yeah, but
the VAR can't get involved for yellow card offences.
Yeah, I mean, it was the worse than the other 2 fouls that he done.
No, but the VAR can't get involved unless it's a red card, right?
Yes. It's nonsense. He's clearly missed it. Do you want to do the super chat?
We'll do it now. James, big up to James. He says, Happy New Year to you both and all the chat. Thanks for all the laughs. Here's to a great 2026, mate. Thank you very much, James.
Thanks very much, James.
It's a lot of fun, this show. We enjoy the channel. We enjoy the chat with you guys. Appreciate you very much. Happy New Year to you and to yours. And to everyone else as well. Ciudini, always here, always supporting. Big up to you, my man. Always a pleasure, buddy. I hope you're okay, Ciudini. Hope you're okay, my man. Tony Rodriguez, member for 6 months. Hey, you must have been one of our first members, Tony.
He is.
One of our first members, Tony. Big up to you, mate.
Happy New Year. Hope it's not too cold out in Sweden.
Whereabouts in Sweden is he? Do you know, Johnny?
Not sure. I had a girlfriend once from Uppsala. the university town. Yeah.
Nice.
She wasn't called Helga, though.
She called Ulrika by any chance?
Oh,
This one. Ulrika Car, ratatata, Ulrika Car. Happy New Year from Australia. Happy New Year to you. You are already in 2026. What's it like? What's it like in 2026?
Has anything changed, Ulrika? Has anything changed? Please let us know.
Please let us know. Big up to you. Thank you very much indeed for your super sat. Choo to you. Spurs OC, big up to you from Orange County, one of the later parts of the world to get into 2026. Happy New Year from OC. Keep the jokes coming, lads. We'll try our best, mate. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. Appreciate you. Happy New Year to you as well.
You.
Ulrika Cars back in again, says Johnny to say ekitike is a dirty git in Russian. Want to go?
Huh?
Do you want to have a go at saying ekitike is a dirty git in Russian in a Russian accent?
I'm trying to get this one right. Right, okay. Ekitike is a dirty git.
I love the preparation. And then you absolutely nailed it, by the way. Absolutely nailed it. Straight up. Well done. Great dream believer with a super stick. Big up to you. Choo to you, Mr. Cat Fun. Big up to you, buddy. Thank you very much indeed. Very generous.
Believer and homecoming queen. Yeah.
And Adam scored draw locks in the chat as well. He says, have a beer on me tonight, guys. Roll on January. Thank you very much indeed, my man. I've got a beer. Waiting to go. Right here.
I've got to do some driving, so I'll have my beer after my chores have finished. Yeah, it's been a
cancellation
lot.
Incoming. New Year's new
cancellation. Say, to the guys, you know who you are, who are in the chat, who are defending some of the comments and our behaviour, our banter is what this channel is all about. Who are in the chat defending Sean and myself yesterday, very much appreciated. It just so happens that a small percentage of the world actually has no sense of humour left.
Somebody in the comment section said that I personally should be banned from YouTube for 1 week, specifically 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week. It was a 1 week ban. It was 1 week. They sent it to the PGMOL of YouTube to have us checked out. But listen,
professional grassers of language. That's what a PGOL, right? Or PGMO, professional grassers managers of language. Yeah, apparently it's okay to do a Russian accent, but it's not okay to do an African one. Apparently.
Colin said, was that Russian or Welsh?
It's proper amazing, isn't it? Proper. Big up to you all. Big up to you. And big up to Dermatron as well. Member for 4 months. Thanks, Dermatron. Big up to you, buddy. He says, Happy New Year to you both. Hope you get all you want in 2026. I love a Spurs FA Cup win, but we can only hope. Come on, you Spurs. Dermo. We've got to get past Villa first, mate. We've got to get past Villa first. Tough one. Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much for your ongoing support of the show as well, man. I hope you're all good and hope everything is sensational for you over in Ireland. Mate, last game we haven't spoken about. We spoke about Chelsea, Bournemouth, spoke briefly about Forest, West Ham, Brighton, Arsenal, Man United. The other game from last night was Burnley against Newcastle. Consummate ease for Newcastle, right?
Well, they strolled into a very quick 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
With Wissa getting a goal. Hasn't taken him long to get running. Lewis Miley is doing very well. He came in very early into the Newcastle setup, the age of 17. Created a bit of a stir, went off for a bit, and now he's back. I think he's doing very well. He's a real talented kid. And they look to be cruising, but Burnley got back into it. It was a late goal for the 3-1. Wasn't it Joel Linton, or was that Joel Linton with the first
Joel Linton got the first one.
Yeah.
It was Gimaresh, who I slid into my fantasy team late.
Slid
Don't
him in.
mind if I do. Don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do. Yeah, listen, it was quite a late goal, to be honest with you, with that. I think I had 2-0. I think I had 2-0 to Newcastle for that game.
Have a look. Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't 2-0. It was 3-1.
No, 3-1.
Let me.
I was close.
In other predictions that went wrong, you had 2-0 to Newcastle, as did the chat. I had 1-1. Is there any early victories there? No one did particularly well last night.
No, it was a strange one. I did expect Chelsea to get the better of Bournemouth, but we shall see. Right, Sean, should we have a look at the early transfer news?
Views, and bloody clues. Where are we?
The rumor mill, it's time we went there to speculate, gesticulate on who will go where.
Let's start with major sources, guys. Major sources out of HP Sport.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Sources, everyone has a source. They're never right, but we'll share them, of course. I know a guy who knows all the discourse. Content's got a content, and trust me, bro, is my source.
Love a bit of sauce.
Give Me Sport are saying that Tottenham, Johnny, have submitted an £86 million bid for Porto striker Samu Agahauer. As I read out the article on my video I did earlier, I immediately realised that it was gunk, because they said they've submitted an official proposal for 86 million. You don't need to submit a proposal. If you're triggering a release clause, you just send over the release clause triggering.
And it wasn't even 86 million, the release clause.
100 million euros for Agahauer. It is.
Oh, it's 100 million euros, is it?
Yeah.
No one pays the Portuguese release clause. Yeah?
No one does.
No one. Not even our club.
No chance this happens, and you wanna know why. Last time I checked, baby pigs don't fly.
Yeah, no effing chance that we're bidding 86 million for him, right? We'll be doing a Levy special. I haven't seen enough to warrant anywhere near that valuation, Sean.
Yeah.
The thing is, other clubs are desperate for strikers. You know, we were talking about the abundance of strikers available in the summer, and it was like a who's who of strikers. But now Forest need a striker, Chelsea need a striker, Spurs need a striker,
Everton need a striker.
Is this the one for you? I mean, he's a big unit. He's not.
No, but listen, I said before, I had to kind of recant it, because I did a bit more digging on a live stream yesterday afternoon, and what I initially said was, look, he hasn't scored any goals against any big teams, at least not this season, and he hasn't this season. He scored 2 goals, I think, or 3 goals in the Europa League, but only in the last couple of rounds. But against like Utrecht or someone like that, and then someone else that was bang average. But last season, he did score 2 goals against Manchester United in the Europa League, and he did score 1 goal against Benfica last season as well in the league. And he's only 21. However, I would say that he is a bit of a flat track bully. He does score most of his goals against teams that would struggle to beat championship teams in English football, right? Like,
he
most
looks like a bully. I mean, he's built like a
monster guy. He's a huge guy. But then so is that Francolino Jew, who's a player that we speak about quite a lot on this channel. And he's not going to cost anything like 80.
That's what we're saying. So would you if I'm going to take a risk, I think I'd take a risk on a 30 million Jew or 40 million Jew than an 80 million Agahauer.
Yeah, so would I. But if you've got 86 million to pop on a striker, you don't put it in Samu Agahauer. You go and spend it on Osimhen or something, right? You go and like really.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Sean.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Oh, listen, it must have been while you were kissing me.
Yeah, I'd love to go and hook Victor Osimhen, mate. He's wasted out in Turkey. That for me is an upgrade. Go and bid 60 million. I reckon you get him out for 60 million to Turkey. Bring in Victor Osimhen, world-class striker. Solanke is on the grass, mate. You've missed the grass.
Yeah.
But for me, we need a world-class striker. Otherwise, don't bother. We might as well carry on with Solanke and Richarlison. I'm not interested in spending another 70 million on a maybe. But no, not for me, Sean. Not for me. The other player Spurs have been linked with, and I think this is a serious link, to be honest with you, is Akalush.
Yeah.
The Monaco midfielder. I think he's what we need. We do not have anyone right now. For me, I've been going on about this. How can you have any creativity or have anything when you have no creativity with anyone in the middle of the park? And Akalush has that ball control, has the ability to break the lines with the passes that we don't possess right now. And so I'd be all for getting him. And I don't think he'd be 50 million, Sean. I think you could pick him up for 30, 35 mil. Do you not? Or do you think?
No, he'll be 50 million. Yeah, he'll be 50 million euros. Definitely.
Euros, yeah.
55, 60, whatever. So he'll be a lot of money. He's a very good player. He plays at the right wing, plays in the 10. Listen, if Tottenham are selling Johnson, I've been saying, I feel like Akliouche was like, you pick a lane. When we were looking at a 10, if it wasn't going to be Eze, was it going to be Akliouche? Was it going to be Rodgers? Was it going to be Xavi? Was it going to be someone else? We chose Xavi. We chose that lane. So forget about Akliouche. It's yesterday's story. But I wasn't expecting Brennan Johnson to leave. If Johnson's leaving the football club, then you can make the argument that you need a right winger and a 10 maybe to come in there and muck around. So maybe you could go and get Akliouche to mix in with Kudus on the right hand side. Maybe you still have room to go and get Diamandi, a Yildiz, a Lookman, whoever on the left hand side. And maybe there's still room for a 9 as well. Like maybe Tottenham really just want to rebuild the entire forward line. But time will tell. We'll see. But I think maybe there is a little bit more gravitas to the notion of Akliouche now that Brennan Johnson's leaving than there was a week ago for me.
Well, at least he can go past the player. Look, I hear this so often especially from Spurs fans. Where's he going to play? I'm not interested, right? I looked last night at all the players on that Arsenal bench that couldn't play. Carl Havertz, right? Eze, right? That's the position I'd like to be in, where we've got players of that caliber that cost 150, 160 million sat on the bench, right? That can't get a game. They're struggling because the players they've already got. That's the depth. The fact that when you say, oh, let's get Akalush, but we got Xavi, I don't care. We need 3 players. We should be having 3 players fighting it out for those positions. Because what that does is it creates competition, and it means that when a player gets his opportunity, he's fighting for it. It doesn't matter how shit I am next week, I will be playing because there's no one behind me to come and take my position, which is what is happening at a few clubs in the league right now.
Yeah.
Especially us. Diamonde, right? Look, we're big lovers of Diamonde. I think this is one that Spurs really do want. Can we pull it off, or do you think we're just too far behind? I mean, Man United are very much interested.
Yeah, but Man United, have you seen this one? Hang on, I've got this thing. This is from Sky Sports. I won't be able to bring it up on the screen, but I'll just read it out. Manchester United are one of the clubs monitoring RB Leipzig winger Yan Diamandi. United are not guaranteed to pursue another winger after missing out on Antoine Semenyo, but may move for Diamandi if other clubs start moving for the highly rated forward in this window. So, it's one of we don't really want him, but we don't want to let anyone else have him, so we'll bring him in, even though we don't actually play with wingers. It's madness. It's absolute madness. United need to focus on centre backs and a midfielder. If I'm thinking logically there. Also, Sky Sports News came out and said that there have been reports that Leipzig value reported Tottenham target Yan Diamandi at £87 million, 100 million euros. However, that is not accurate, with the player's value understood to be more in the region of 52 to 61 million pounds, 60 to 70 million euros. That's from Sky Sports News. Music to my ears, mate. If he's valued at 61 million pound, you go and pay the top end of that expectation right now, and you bring him in.
You don't mess around.
He is unbelievable talent.
There's your money. My club, RB Leipzig, right, keep selling their players. I mean, they sold 3 They sold 3. They sold Sesko, they sold Xavi, and they sold Openda, right? And yet they're still second, third in the league. And now they've got Diamonde. They won't be selling Diamonde unless they got another talent that's 60, 70 million up their sleeves. They just keep producing these players. But for me, I believe he can come in and just do the business right off the bat. Really game changers.
Does Leipzig have anyone coming through their ranks?
Well, I'm sure they will, because like Brighton, they don't sell unless they've got replacements.
But
they haven't missed. RB Leipzig have not missed the sale of Sesko, Xavi, and Openda. They haven't missed them at all. They're second. They were second in the league up until a couple of weeks ago.
Is Openda on loan, or was he a full sale?
I think it was. I can't remember if it was a sale with an option. But
have a look.
Have a look at him up.
Yeah, he's on loan. Yeah, he's on loan.
Yeah. But anyway, listen, we shall see about that. I think that's all the Spurs news. I haven't seen. Look, we know about our interesting kid in Yildiz, but again,
Juventus have stepped up their efforts to secure Yildiz, tabling an improved contract offer. This is 5 minutes old information here from Tutto Sport. As talks continue, the club are confident their plan to make him the highest paid player in the squad can persuade the winger to snub interest from Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. That's from Tutto Sport. So apparently they've offered a new contract to him, but they're still like he wants
5 million.
He wants money that isn't that big of a deal to English clubs, but that is
a big
deal
5 million net. Sure, 5 million net.
Yeah,
not. Let's go to the Mark Gay situation. It's funny because Real Madrid, who've ruled themselves out of the Canate deal, have now ruled themselves in to making a big effort to try and sign Mark Gahey ahead of Liverpool. And Liverpool have said, interesting, I don't know whether it's kidology, that they're not willing to make a move for Mark Gahey until the summer when they can get him on a free. Are they just thinking, or do you think they know, they've spoken to the agents and they know full well that he will come to them come what may in the summer? Because surely Real Madrid, you can't be that confident in yourself that when it comes to Liverpool or Real Madrid that he won't consider Real Madrid. Or do you think Liverpool will say, well, look, happened to Trent? I think, Real Madrid are definitely looking at him. We'll find out tomorrow, mate. He might end up signing a deal tomorrow morning with Real Madrid, Yeah. And then he'll go at the end of the season, but we don't know. I think that there will because he can sign a pre-contract with Real Madrid,
but not with Liverpool.
Yeah. Interesting one. He's gonna get some incredible offers. That much is for sure. Newcastle are interested in signing the Netherlands defender Jadon Oosterwolde. I'm not I know he's out in Turkey, I think. Is he Turkey?
Dutch plays for Fenerbahce, yeah.
Yeah. He's don't know a great deal about him, I've got to be honest.
He's left back, left-sided centre-back, or left-footed player. 24 years old. I'm not obviously too familiar. He's very versatile though. He can play left back, left midfielder. Suriname Dutch, valued at about 20 million euros. Not a huge amount. Interesting one out of Manchester City though is Oscar Bobb going to Dortmund potentially. This is one of the ones I'm worried about. Like if Semenyo is definitely going to go to Manchester City. And everyone's sitting there going, well, on that case, then obviously Savinho is going to want to leave. Manchester City can't, they need to sell or to get rid of at least one. But if they're going to loan out, they're going to get rid of Oscar Bobb rather than Savinho. That basically screws the pooch for anyone that's looking at Savio. Is Savio, though, does Savio really want to sit there and behind, like just drop down to where Oscar Bobb is in the pecking order?
Does Savio want to go to a Spurs? is that a drop down? Just the same as Nathan Ake. Manchester
to West Ham.
saying he's going to West Ham. Why would Nathan Ake leave Manchester City, a Dutch international, at 30 years of age, to go to West Ham, who are going to get, very good chance of getting relegated? It's just not happening. David Sullivan, I think, is delusional, thinking that he can, take him there. Oscar Bobb, however, going to Dortmund. Dortmund is like a rehabilitation centre for British. Well, British, he's not British, he's Norwegian. But what I mean is players that have come from the Premier League, they go out there, they get rehabilitated at Dortmund, have a good season, and then get transferred again for big money. Look, big things were expected of Oscar Bobb. I thought he was a tremendous player, but obviously injuries have curtailed his career to date. But maybe playing in Germany is a little bit easier. Look, we've seen all the players that have gone to Germany from the Premier League and have done very, very well, but they find it much harder coming back the other way. So I can see Oscar Bobb going there. But yeah, it could affect him. But listen, they've got Doku, they've got Savinho, and they've got Semenyo. I don't know. I think they need I'd be amazed. I'd be amazed if Mamouche comes, and I'd be amazed if Savinho comes. I haven't seen enough from Savinho. I'll be honest with you. I loved him at Girona. If you just looked at his Girona in the La Liga, he was sensational, right? But I haven't seen enough in the Premier League, Sean. I've seen fleeting moments. Our club need more than fleeting moments. We need a player that's going to offer consistency. And for me, he's not done it.
Just quickly, have you seen that story about Wilson Odebear? That apparently on the training ground he terrorizes and beats and smashes our defenders or whatever, and that he's scared in on the football pitch at Tottenham because he hasn't got the confidence to do what he does on the training ground. That's a bit problematic, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he needs to see a psychologist. Simple as that. Yeah. Get my mate on him.
There's an absolute player in Wilson Odebear. I promise you.
No, listen. Look. You listen. I'd get my mate in there and tell him some home truths, mate. Grow a pair, right? Yeah. Old school. He needs some old school mentoring. Yeah. Okay. Survive or die, mate. You've got to grow a pair. Look, you and I, we do the YouTube game. And we put us head above the parapet, and we get abuse. We get the love in the room, but we also get a lot of abuse from people. And if you're someone that gets offended by the abuse and people saying what they say about you and I, this isn't the game for you. And if we were paid, Sean, right, 100 grand a week or 80 grand a week for doing the thing you love, mate, grow a pair. Someone needs to get him into a psychologist and get him out there and, say to him, it's the same thing, mate. Shut it out. Yeah. Tunnel vision. Top psychiatrist. He will do it. Interesting. Man United are interested in signing the Ecuadorian midfielder Edison Castillo. I think this has been mentioned before. I think Chelsea were after him as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really good player. Man United, I'm not going to go through all the Man United ones again because they have been linked with so many. James, it's true though. It's true. That's £500. Lie on my couch. Would you like a coffee and some water?
What's going on with you exactly? How do we need to extrapolate that pair of bollocks that happen to be sat right up here in your throat and bring them down to your knees like the good football player that you could become?
No, you just got to shut out the noise, Sean. My point here is you've got to shut out the noise. You want to be the professional footballer. You got to man up. You can't be going, oh, when I go out there, they shout abuse at me. Right, I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
Take the man on.
tunnel
There's an absolute
vision.
player in there. There's an absolute player in there, and he should be playing more.
Look, 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 rugby teams, they bring in therapists, sports psychologists, right? That's what you need, right? It's not just medical staff. It's not just fitness training. It's the belief. It's having belief in your own ability. And a lot of people lack confidence, but confidence breeds confidence. So if they can get that out of him, and I'm sure Wilson Odebear's not the only player in the Premier League that suffers from this. We expect, you can hear it on a day. I'll never forget the time when Davinson Sanchez, I was at Spurs, and Davinson Sanchez's family came over. His mum and his dad were there from Colombia. They flew over from Colombia, and his wife and his child were there. And he came on as a substitute, and the stadium booed him. It was horrendous. It was one of the worst things I've heard in football. Yeah. And he came off. He had to come off. He couldn't cope with it. He went off in tears. Right? We shouldn't be doing it as fans to that extent, but he needs to. You need to grow up here. You need to grow up here.
What about growing up here, guys? Smash a subscriber button. Rub the sub if you've grown a pair and you've admired the content enough. All we ask is for a little cheeky like and a sub. And then we will leave you alone. But before we do that, we've got some super chats to get to as well. Some more super chats. Big up to Roy Vike and choo to you, Roy. Hope you're okay. Up in deepest, darkest Norway right now. It's very dark up there. It must be dark right now. It's probably dark right
very
now.
Dark
where you are, Roy.
One of Sean and I's highlights of 2025 will always be our trip to Bodo.
Helga, you broke my heart.
We loved it. We loved the trip. I wish I'd.
Yeah, we travelled up to Bodo. It's a long old way, very north. But Roy is about 2 hours further north than that. So you're right up in the Arctic circle, Roy. So let me know. Let us know in the chat. Is it dark up there right now? Do you get is it like 18 hours of darkness this time of year, Roy? Let us know, man. Big up to you, buddy. Thank you very much for the super chat. Ulrika has become a new member of the show. Big up to you, Ulrika. We appreciate you very, very much indeed. And Roy's come back in member for 6 months. He said, John, this question for us. What are your plans for the channel next year? What are your goals and how do you envision working going forward? I envision working drunk most of the time. So sober some of the time.
No, he's messing around. Listen, guys, look, we want to grow the channel. We hope to have some interesting guests on, and to grow the channel. It's in the fledgling state at the moment. Listen, I'll be honest with you. To get getting on for 5,600, moving towards 6,000 followers in just 6 months is superb. I see channels out there that have been going years don't have as many as us, but our viewing numbers are often. Especially in the transfer window period, are bigger than our actual subscribers. So there is lots of people out there who watch their channel who don't subscribe. Guys, come and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost any money, but you have to have a Google account to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you any money, but you can follow us. And if you hit the notification bell, guys, so that you know when Sean and I are going live, because we do have busy lives. So we try and balance out. We never know when we're going to go. Carry on, Shawnee. Sorry, you got
Logan as well. Big up to Logan. THFC's giving a super sticker. Choo to you, Logan. Hope you're okay, mate. Best of luck with your endeavours in the new year as well. And big up to you, Roy. Appreciate you very much, mate. For me, the football drink. I like that. Very good. Very good indeed.
That one.
Yeah. Listen, we are, look, more jingles. More jingles are going to come, more AI involvements and more ludicrous stories and games and all that sort of thing. We are going to be doing the game, this game at some point. At some point, this game is going to be played very soon.
Tell me stories that are true with a proper disguise. Tell me stories that are true with a proper disguise. The craziest football stories where some of them are true, but most of them are lies.
What would I do without AI, Johnny? I fucking love it.
I know. Listen, here's one for you. Brennan Johnson is a top internationally acclaimed footballer.
Yeah. Subjective. Speaking of Brennan Johnson, by the way, there's a story out on Twitter just broken a minute ago. Roy's messaged us. Roy's messaged me a video of his time currently. Make sure I can bring it up on the screen.
Put it up on the screen.
Yeah, look. You see that on the screen? It's currently pitch black in Norway. Can you see that on the screen?
Roy, that is beautiful.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. 15 degrees under Celsius. Wowzers, Roy. Wowzers.
Yes,
wowzers,
all of
mate.
you guys in the UK complaining that your bits are frozen. Let's take a second to think of Roy at -15.
We do have a breaking story. Crystal Palace are now confident. This is from Sam Wallace and Jay Percy of the Telegraph. So this is legit. Palace are now confident that Brennan Johnson will be at the club in time for their match against Newcastle on Sunday. So they're expecting it's done. It'll be done tomorrow. We're going to have a breaking news story. I'll be putting out the content bang on as soon as it's done. The 24-year-old is expected to have a medical over the next 24 hours, and the deal will be for about 35 milski. It's good money, isn't it, Johnny? I know you initially thought not enough. I think it's good money.
Look, I just think if any club was buying an 18-goal striker, they normally play more than 35 mil. It's as simple as that. If we were buying an 18-goal striker, we'd be paying more than that. I'd be interested to see. I'd be happy 35 million if we're getting a 10% sell-on. Bearing in mind, he's only 24 years of age.
24 degrees. He's lukewarm. He's changing his name from Brennan Johnson to lukewarm. He's 24 degrees.
24 degrees of separation. The only thing I'm a bit surprised about, for the people that are advising him, Sean, where's the certainty at Crystal Palace? Oliver Glasner said he's leaving. So, if he is going to leave, he doesn't know who's coming in. They might not fancy him. They might also know, like we know, that Brennan Johnson's a show pony.
Yeah.
So,
but if you're joining Palace at the start of, before the sort of the transition happens, right? I think if he goes there and he knows that Gahey's on his way out, he knows that Glasner's on his way out. If Parish can find the right next manager, he might be the focal point. He might be. I think Brennan Johnson wants to be a bit more than just the kind of the also-ran guy who chips in with goals. I think he might, I think he's a bit of a mummy's boy and all that stuff, but I actually think he might thrive in a Palace system. And I think he might thrive in the next 6 months of Glasner. And I think that maybe there's a chance that Glasner can be convinced to stay. I don't think Gahey will stay, but maybe Glasner could stay. But either way, I think it's not a bad move for Johnson. Like, he's not getting enough minutes at Tottenham. If you take your career seriously, minutes on the pitch have to be more.
You add on, Sean. It's 35 million. I think 35 million plus achievable add-ons of 5 million over the course of this contract is a reasonable fee.
It doesn't seem like that's part of the deal. It seems it might be like 32 plus 3 or something. Like, it might be 35 including the add-ons, but 32 is the baseline, is what I've been reading. Listen, mate, I don't make you wrong, but also we've seen the guy play.
Yeah,
he's only good at putting the ball in the back of the net because of his weaknesses that no one tracks him.
Bollocks, right? Basically, he does not take on his man. That's been my biggest gripe for him all the time. And what sticks in my head was the game against Wolves last season, where he was on his haunches, out of breath. It was away from home. It was at about maybe longer, not long after we signed him. And I was thinking, you're 22 years of age, mate, coming up 23, and you're out of breath in the first half. I mean, come on.
This is a fair shot of you, mate. Fair shot of you. You slag him off constantly. You called him Brendan Johnson for the first year.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm not unhappy he's going. Let me clarify. And you're quite right. I've said it, so I've got to take it. My point here is, I don't think he's good enough. My point here, though, is all I'm making is, if Spurs or other bigger clubs than Crystal Palace were trying to buy a player that scored 18 goals last season, I think we'd be playing more than 32 million plus add-ons. That's all I'm saying. One last thing, about Brennan Johnson. Question here in the chat: did he?
Before you ask that, I've been asked for a certain clip, mate. Sorry.
We have a flip-flop. Everyone changes their mind. Like they didn't say that last time. We have a flip-flop, trying to erase the past. Well, buddy, you're having a laugh.
Question in the chat, guys. Yes or no? Did Brennan Johnson ever touch that ball in Bilbao? Because I'm still convinced he got nothing, right? He didn't get anything on it, right? I've looked at it 10 times. Listen, I'm excited.
Cadders knew what you were going to ask before you even had a fucking chance to ask it.
No touch. I didn't think he touched it personally. I mean, I'm delighted. It was, but I thought it was Luke Shaw own goal. Personally,
I thought it was an own goal as well. Yeah, I don't think he touched it. But we'll let him have it.
Yeah, we'll let him have it. But
I think he knows as well. You can see the look in his face whenever he's been asked. He's got that kind of look at his that kind of shameful. I'm gonna like no one really knows. You know what they would? I'd love it if they could create some technology in the future, Johnny, where they can reposition heat maps like the snickometer onto previous footage and see if it actually works. Because I reckon he'll get absolutely outed for being a fraud. I don't think he got a nick on it at all.
I don't think he did either. But listen, look, the records show he took the blows and did it his way.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. Good luck to him.
Super chat from Marzi. Big up to you, Tom. He says, Happy New Year to you both. Happy New Year to you as well, mate. He says, thanks for all the great content in 2025. I'm waiting for midnight so I can get back to having a drink. No drinking in 2025. Wow. You haven't done dry January. You've done dry 25. Fair play, mate. If you've achieved it as well, and then as soon as 12:01 comes around, you're going to smash a bottle of tequila. Then that's my kind of guy, Marzi. That is my kind of guy. You've got discipline to the end, but you want to get back straight into the debauchery. I love that, mate. Thank you very much for the super chat, and congratulations if you succeeded on that mission. That's wild. Do you think you could go 2026 without a drink, Johnny?
I'm not even a drinker, but the answer is no.
You've become a drinker since you've known me, though.
I have, haven't I? Weirdest thing, I've become partial to red wine out of nowhere. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's as you get older, your taste buds change.
Red wine is absolutely delicious. Look, I've got an empty bottle of Malbec right here. You know, it's been there for about 12 minutes.
Tonight I'll be. I've got to do some driving first, so I can't drink just yet. But I'll be having a glass or two. But obviously Brentford tomorrow. So
are you going?
Yeah, I'll be driving there. Did
you get a ticket for that?
Huh?
You got a ticket in the ballot?
No, in the ballot. Yeah, in the ballot. My first time at Brentford.
Very good.
You got more supers?
No, we're done with the super chat.
I've got another one here. Liverpool are front runners to sign Joel Ordonez, really good player from Club Brugge. Chelsea were really, I don't know what's happened there, but they were having deep conversations with him and suddenly withdrawn. I'm not quite sure the reason, but apparently now Liverpool have stepped into the void. Club Brugge have got some, I mean, they've sold...
Who's the player you mentioned?
Pardon? Joel Ordonez.
Ordonez, yeah, the centre back. Yeah, he's quality. Yeah. Mate, left-footed, left-sided centre-backs, mate, they're the lesser spotted. They come with a value of premium.
We after him, Sean?
We are after him, aren't we?
Yeah, but it looks like, again, if Liverpool come... Look, Liverpool desperately need two centre-backs, desperately, right? And if it's Liverpool or Spurs, I'm sorry, but we don't have a chance.
Yeah. But they can't sign everybody, mate. They can't. There's enough talent out there. There's enough talent out there for sure. Speaking of which, Tottenham are also, according to Tottenham and Liverpool, boys and girls, are interested and about to make a move, according to Football Insider, for Jan-Paul Van Hecker. Scouts watching closely ahead of a possible move. This guy's a right-footed centre-back, but can play on both sides. I'm a big fan of Van Hecker. I think he's a fantastic talent. I think he's a really solid,
player,
lovely centre. He can play off the left-hand side.
I know, but yeah, Jed Spence can play on the left, but really he's
we don't have enough rights. We haven't got enough left-footed players, mate. And we're trying to sell Ben Davies to Nice. He's one of our only left-footed players in the Premier League. Like, there's actually probably some value in that guy because he's a solid pro. And we
can't sell him, even though he's not up to it. I don't believe anymore. We can't sell him until we buy. I mean, you look at Arsenal. Look at how many defenders they have, and yet AC Milan, they're now seriously looking at AC Milan's 20-year-old Italian fullback David Barzaghi is one of a number of players being monitored by Arsenal in the January window. Looking at their bench last night, do they really need more defenders and more players? According to Arteta, they do.
Yeah, I don't know. Crazy.
Mad.
Crazy, man.
I mean,
Arsenal squad. If they can't win the league with what they've got, then they'll never win the league. For me, then if they were to get, they spent all that money on Gyökeres. He isn't the guy for me. At least he's not proven to be the guy yet. Gabriel Jesus, man, comes off the bench and scores a goal in 3 minutes of being on the pitch or something. 5 minutes.
What a goal! Let me just say, right? Form is temporary, class is permanent. That was an absolutely superb goal. And I
always rated Gabriel Jesus when we were linked with him. I remember Arsenal fans saying we should have got Richarlison over. I remember AFTV Don Robbie or whatever his name is, Robbie Lyle, saying, "Oh, we should have got Richarlison." I was like, "You could have had him. I'll take Gabriel Jesus all day long." I know Jesus has been injured, but Jesus for me is a far better footballer, far better footballer than Richarlison.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Sean. My mate was trying to represent him in the UK before he even went to Manchester City, and he went to Spurs with Gabriel Jesus at the time, and no interest as per usual. Going back a few years now.
Right. Yeah. We fucked up there. Well, I don't know why. I don't know what. I still to this day don't understand what it is that Richarlison.
Well, Mikel Arteta on Gabriel Jesus after his goal against Villa last night said Gabriel Jesus has put in an incredible effort to get fit. He's absolutely relentless. He wants more. He looks really, really happy. His emotional state is really high at the moment, and he needed that goal. I'm very happy for him. He has unbelievable desire and hunger to win and succeed. That's what you want. Yeah. He's not scared to get on the pitch. Wilson.
It's a good player. Good player, mate. It's a good player. I mean, that's about me done, mate, for the news. You? Yeah. All right. Well,
no, I've got some stuff on Barcelona looking to see if they can strike a deal for Dusan Vlahovic. And they're also looking at Lucas Berardo, but that move's been ruled out. They're also Porto looking to take Rooney Bardaj, who they got him from Copenhagen just recently in the summer. But they are looking, one that's considered more serious and is possibility to happen via Hansi Flick, obviously, is Leon Goretzka going to Barcelona from Bayern Munich. That one, I think you could watch this space. That's definitely a possibility. But I think that's
quickly. Blissness here is asking quick prediction: World Cup winner.
I'm going to be really boring. I can't see past Argentina. I think Ecuador could do very well. I think it's the heat. I think the heat. Talking about South America, mate. How good was Esteval last night?
It's good. Good player again. Very good. Very good.
Who do you fancy, Sean?
I would say I think Argentina are probably the favourites. I like Spain. France is good as well. France are unplayable at times.
Can I just ask you one last?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll say a European team.
European team. Can I ask a question, right? Guys, say in your chat, what is your favourite football moment, your best and worst football moment for your club in 2025? For me, my best will be probably Bilbao. I don't think there's any moment. And my worst is I think it's two. I think it's a cross between Tamworth, the Tamworth game, where we nearly went out, and that first half against Everton, where it just looked an absolute mess.
That 2025 when we lost when we were 2-0 down at half time.
Was it
3-0 down?
3-0? 3-0 down.
At half time, yeah.
3-0 down at half time. And Tamworth, which was sort of this time last year, where we nearly went out to a non-league team. Would have been the worst defeat in our history.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Sean?
The best for me, I just love Bodo, mate. I thought Bodo was just the best day of my year. Best day of my year, anyway. I enjoyed Bilbao, but Bodo was just fun from 3 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the morning. Absolutely,
it was right up there.
The best part was that I was winding Johnny and Henry up the entire day, going like, you guys for the weeks going out. You ain't going to be able to live with me. You ain't going to be able to live with me drinking all day with this geezer. What are we doing here? And to be fair to them, both of them, they stood up and they drunk all day with us. And then as we're getting on the plane, as we're walking back through the terminal at 1:30 in the morning, and I start to see Johnny wobble a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't in a good state getting on that plane. I can tell you, not really.
Johnny had the Johnny wobbles going on. I was like, I blessed him. It's just caught up with him a little bit.
You know what?
I then got on the plane. I got on the plane and put my head against the front seat and just slept for the journey back. But you know what? I then got home and I started again because that's the fucking alcoholic that I am.
Do you know what? I've got to say, the funniest thing about Bodo was landing and you said, where do we go from here? Oh, you just walk into town.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Into town. So you just
walk. There's a 5-minute walk, wasn't it?
a tiny little airport. You walked out and you walked straight into town. Ipswich and Leicester were two horrific defeats. I remember as well, having rested all of our team so they would be fit for the game, and we lost. Let's see some of the others. Bilbao, obviously Bilbao. What was your worst, Sean?
I don't really remember, mate, to be honest. There were so many poor performances, wasn't there?
Yeah, 2025 was a disaster. I think we only won 11 games in 2025.
Leicester, Ipswich at home, they were fucking horrendous. You know, lots of them, put me off going to Tottenham. Listen, guys, we got to go, though. Big up to you all. And Johnny, I will see you later on. No, I'll see you tomorrow. No, we'll see you tomorrow for.
We'll do a. Yeah, listen.
New Year's Day.
Listen,
can't start the year without a show.
Let's try and do one before the game tomorrow. Big derby up in Scotland. The Old Firm derby. Celtic versus Rangers tomorrow. That could have a big impact on the league. So that could be a good one. If you're recovering, lying in bed at 12:30 in the morning, that game's on nice and early. Guys, it's been a pleasure. 2025 wouldn't have been the same without you. Thanks for your support. Wishing you all a very happy and healthy and successful 2026. And I've loved doing it with this guy. So it's goodbye from me.
Yeah, guys, just super quick. Please do smash the like button and subscribe button should be smashed as well. We will be back. The next Ramblings is tonight. I'm doing a Rambling show tonight. I don't know who's going to be on with me because I think everyone's doing Happy New Year, but I'm doing a Rambling show this evening because I've got nothing better to do with my life. Guys, love you all. Like, subscribe, and comment. Get over to Johnny's Instas and all that stuff as well, but down there. We will see you later on, guys, and Happy New Year to you all. Appreciate everyone for the support, and it's also goodbye from him. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.